¿Cómo fue tu transformación de ser un bailarín y un artista a ser un emprendedor que en su negocio se facturan millones de dólares? Thank you to be here.
This is very good to be here. Thank you for having me, Diego.
De verdad que agradezco mucho que estés acá.
I really appreciate that you are here with us.
Thank you.
Este programa está siendo grabado en español para la comunidad latinoamericana.
This program is recorded in Spanish for our Latin community.
Y la verdad estamos muy contentos porque te conozco hace 2 años.
And we are very happy because I know you since the past 2 years.
Pero en los últimos 7 meses he visto una transformación en tu negocio y en tu vida de una manera loca.
But in the past 7 months, I've seen a very big transformation in your life and in your business.
Y en realidad ha sido una inspiración para mí en mi vida y en mis negocios.
And it's been an inspiration for me in my life and in my business too.
Thank you.
En primera instancia, pues nos gustaría conocer cómo fue tu transformación de ser un bailarín y un artista a ser un emprendedor que en su negocio se facturan millones de dólares.
Well, to begin with, I would like to know how did you do this transformation from being a hip-hop dancer to be an artist to become an entrepreneur and a businessman and having like this big organization with millions of dollars sold around the world?
Well, how much time do we have? That's a good question. I'll do my best to answer it briefly, but actually for me there were a lot of similar things I was doing with dance that I found out worked in business. And in fact, I think what made me successful in business and network marketing is most of it is stuff I did learn from dance. So one of the things is I love teaching. I enjoy it. And I found that out at an early age. So I found out that, a lot of network marketing is about teaching. Taking something that was complicated, dance steps, sales, and making it simple to where people felt like I can do that. And in dance, I was teaching classes every week, and in order to grow my class, if it was too challenging, people wouldn't come. If it was too easy, it wasn't challenging enough. So there was this fine line in teaching between making it challenging but easy enough that people wanted to come back. And if I made it fun and I gave them an incentive, they would want to bring more people. So a lot of that, but one of the best things that I learned through dance is modeling knowledge. Most people in life, when they want to learn something, it's more classroom. They study in a classroom. And for me, most of my experiences were from modeling people. So I found out if I'm learning in dance, I was copying somebody exactly what they were doing and putting it in my body on the spot. So my ability to watch something and then integrate it in my body was a skill that I developed for years. So when I got into business, I would watch people and I said, I just have to model or copy what they're doing. So I heard a saying a long time ago, find people who have what you want, do what they do, and you'll get where they are. I'll change it a little bit. It's not just do what they do, it's become who they've become. So I was paying attention to what they were doing, how they built their business, how not just what they were doing, but how were they thinking. And so teaching was one thing that was really important. Modeling was another thing that was really important that helped me become successful. And the last one that helped me be really successful, I think, in business is what helped me be successful in dance is always be a student. I was always studying. There was always something new to learn. In dance, if you're not training consistently, you get left behind very quickly. You always have to be learning. You're always in student mode, always. And people have very little respect for dancers that don't continue to train. Professional athletes are constantly training in order to become professional. So in business, in life, if you want to be good at something, always be a student.
Wow. Bueno, y la verdad nos encantaría saber cómo ha sido tu transformación en ingresos desde ese momento que has sido bailarín hasta lo que está sucediendo ahora.
Now we would really want to know how it's been like your transformation in the making money. Like going from what you started off to have what you are having right now.
It's interesting because I didn't get started in business to make millions of dollars. I didn't. I got started because I wanted to put a full tank of gas in my car. Like that was, I wanted to pay rent on time without calling my mom. Like,
Okay.
You know, I wasn't trying to be crazy successful. I didn't want to be broke. So I was really more so, I was in Los Angeles, they call you a starving artist because you can't afford food. You're just hungry. So, and because it's really difficult. And I wanted to be an artist. I just didn't want to be starving. And so when I got into business, it was really just to make a few $100s extra on the side to help me with my passions. And what ended up happening is this little side business became a passion because I realized I loved teaching personal development, entrepreneurship, life skills, business skills. I enjoyed teaching those even more than I enjoyed teaching dance. Which is crazy because I love teaching dance. But no one after dance class came up to me and said, Jesse, my kids sleep better tonight because of you. But when I started teaching people how to work for themselves, I had moms say, I'm home now and my kids sleep better because of you. And so I fell in love with helping people. And so I found out in business, if you help a lot of people, you make more money. So I was never chasing the big money. I just really loved helping people. And I was like, and the more I do it, the better I get at it, the more rewards we receive.
Wow. A ver, dinos en realidad, semanalmente, ¿cuánto está moviendo tu negocio?
Could you tell us really how much money is your business making every week?
In sales.
In sales, I don't know. 4 million, 5 million a week. A lot.
Wow.
A lot. So, but it started with just learning, being a student. I was very bad in the beginning. Very bad. I messed up. Another thing dance actually helped me with in being an entrepreneur is willing to mess up. Like, willing to look foolish or stupid. You know, most adults are so scared to mess things up. But in dance, you're messing it up all the time while you're trying to learn it because you're doing it wrong, and then you do it again and again and again. So how you learn it is you mess it up. So doing something wrong wasn't weird to me. So where most people are afraid to do a presentation wrong or do a sales call wrong, I was like, no, I want to do them so I can mess them up. So then I can learn how to do them good. And so while most people are thinking about, I hope I don't mess up, I've already done it 10 times and messed up 10 times and learned how to do it the 11th time good.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. ¿En cuántos países está tu negocio actualmente?
In how many countries do you have business right now?
40?
Wow.
Maybe more.
¿Cuál es tu mercado más fuerte?
What's your strongest market?
My strongest market or my favorite market?
¿Tu más fuerte en facturación?
My favorite is Colombia. No, but I'm serious. I love it here. My strongest market is South Korea.
Wow.
Yes.
¿Y por qué Colombia? ¿Qué tiene de especial? ¿Qué viste en este mercado?
Why Colombia? What did you see special in this market?
It's Colombia. Like, if you're from Colombia, you know. If you're not from Colombia, it's hard to you don't understand why it's so special. But everything, the people, the music, the food. Oh my God, I love it. So when I landed in Bogota this time, the first thing I was like, arepas. Give me arepas. But honestly, it's the heart of Colombia. It's very it's present. So Colombia is very spicy.
Whoa.
And I love it. So they know how to have fun. They work hard. They love their families. They want to experience life. And they care. And it's amazing. I love it.
Wow. Bueno, tenemos un chisme de que hace años tú solo comercializabas servicios. Y hace 19 años solo comercializabas servicios. Y hace 10 decidiste meterte a la industria de productos. Cuéntanos sobre eso.
We have heard, rumor has it, that 19 years ago you used to sell like services. And 10 years ago you switched to products.
Yeah.
How was that transition?
Yeah, that transition was it was difficult to make the decision, and then once I made the decision, it was pretty simple. But in the beginning, when you were thinking about it, how is this going to work? What are people going to say? How am I going to do this? I don't know anything about products. When you're thinking about it, yeah, it's hard. But then once you start doing it, you learn it. It's like anything. So, but what I loved about our products is they're so much fun. And that made it so much easier. Because I didn't have to be an expert. I didn't have to be a product expert. I just had to be a demonstration expert. So if I could learn how to show people our products, when people would see results. And then the products became the seller. And I just got to go have fun showing it. So.
Wow. Bueno, vamos a hacer esto un poco divertido.
So we're going to start having fun here.
Oh, I've been having fun this whole time.
Perfecto. ¿Libro favorito?
Okay.
Favorite book?
The Alchemist by Pablo Coelho.
¿Lugar favorito?
Favorite place?
Place?
Yes.
In the world.
In the world.
Oh, I was going to say my imagination. No.
I love it.
No, favorite place in the world? Wow. That's... I have lots of favorite places for different reasons, but... one of the ones that's coming into my head right now is Sedona. I love Sedona, Arizona.
El mejor plan para hacer en tu día a día.
What's the best plan for you to do daily?
The best plan for you to do daily?
Yeah.
Do
you love it?
Help people. I mean, that's...
Ok. ¿Cuáles son esos rituales y tus actividades diarias para estar en equilibrio?
So what activities or rituals do you have to maintain like balance?
That's a good question. It's actually something I think I still struggle with. So, because I love what I do, so sometimes it's hard for me to schedule breaks. So what happens is I'll work really hard, because for me work is a passion. And then what happens is I'll like burn myself out, you know, like my body's like, and you're done. So I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that question. What I would say, and I think what I'm learning and or getting better at, is paying attention to my body.
To your body.
Yeah. And so I think one of the best things that you can do is take care of the little version of you. And what I mean by that is we all have two very important personalities. We have the inner critic and we have our inner child. And the inner critic is usually very loud. And we all have it. And when the inner critic is so loud, and then the inner child you can't hear, this is when I think we experience the most pain in our lives. And so one of the things I've been really looking at over the last couple of years is how to take care of my inner child and blocking out this inner critic. Because your inner child, the 7-year-old you, the 8-year-old you, take care of. I found out if you heal the child, the man will appear.
Great.
I don't know if that answers your question, but
Perfecto. It's so good. ¿Cómo haces para mantener la facturación en tu negocio y cómo haces para escalarlo?
How do you do to maintain your sales in your organization? What strategies do you apply to improve them, to make them grow?
I think a big focus on personal growth and personal development. I think you're not going to grow farther than you grow. So it's always been something that I think is really important. Most people, if they want to go to the next level, they need to take full ownership of everything in their life, good and bad. So the minute you give up responsibility to someone else, you've lost all your power. So I find people become more powerful when they become more responsible for everything. So instead of saying, it's her fault, it's his fault, or my boss, or the company, or whatever, and saying, nope, this is me. So I love training and development. I think is really important for people. But then there's that side. And then the other side is knowing your business and knowing what produces results and paying attention to those numbers and monitoring them. So because some people in some organizations are just like, they do all this training and growth, but they don't do what makes money. So you have to do both.
Entonces, tú miras los números todos los días, semanalmente, analizas los líderes en cada mercado y te comunicas con ellos, ¿o qué otras estrategias usas?
So you check your numbers daily, weekly, you talk to your leaders in every market. How do you handle it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be successful in anything, you have to track it. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Good example, you have a goal to lose weight. The number one way to lose weight is to track everything. So that's it. That's the answer. Track what you eat. And when you start looking at it and paying attention to it, you're like, oh yeah. So, because a lot of people don't really know. If you really wrote down everything you ate and have a journal of what you eat every day and you track it, and then the number one thing they found in weight loss is this: weigh yourself every day. It's the best way to lose weight. Just weigh yourself every day. Because anything that you monitor, anything that you track will improve if you're paying attention. Because it's out of sight, out of mind, when there's no awareness. So in my business, when things are going really well, I'm doing a lot more monitoring and tracking of what matters.
¿Cómo haces para expandir tus líderes, duplicar ese liderazgo en tu negocio?
How do you do it to expand and duplicate your leadership in your leaders?
What's interesting is I can't make anyone become a leader. No one made me become a leader. Leadership is a choice. And it's not an easy choice. So I tried to make people leaders for a long time. It's exhausting. You're a leader. No, they're not going to do that. So I don't think I've ever created leaders. I think leaders create themselves if you create the right environment for them to grow. So the environment for someone to really grow is a place where they can be recognized for their growth. So I think to develop leaders, you need to have a good developed training system and a good recognition system to recognize the behavior that you want repeated. So, yeah.
¿Qué le recomendarías a un emprendedor tradicional que está analizando el modelo de redes de mercadeo para que pueda tener un excelente resultado? O si tienes un negocio actual, para que pueda aprovecharlo y hacer crecer una red de mercadeo.
What would you recommend to an entrepreneur that is looking into network marketing to have success? Or if it's already in the industry, what would you recommend to those persons to have a very good business?
Yeah, I think the beginning is to go faster, quicker. So if I could go back in time when I started network marketing 19 years ago and talk to me, I would have said, Jesse, so stop caring about who gets it and who doesn't. Because we get caught up in who says yes, who says no, who's going to join me, who's not. And it would have been so much faster if I would have just gone, hey, I'm excited, let me show you, do you like it? Yes, no, move on. Now, over time you'll learn the skills. But in the beginning, stop convincing, stop begging, and sort through the contacts as fast as you can to find the people who have what I call that now spark. They're ready to start now. Because what happens is we show a few people and we get a few what I call waiters. They're waiting. And then they're waiting for kids to get out of school or kids to get back into school or for their taxes or for the sun and the moon and the stars to align. And so what happens is we, as new networkers, we end up waiting for the people that are telling us they're waiting to get started. And that doesn't build you a fast business. So this business, there's two ways to build our business. One is fast, the other is painful. So fast is better. So just go through it as quickly as you can to find a few people, and you just go through 100, go through 200 contacts, and that's the best thing you could do for sure. And who cares who gets it, who doesn't?
Perfecto. Dijiste que te encanta Colombia, pero hablemos de negocios. ¿Qué es lo que está sucediendo en Latinoamérica? ¿Cuál es tu visión en este país y en toda Latinoamérica?
So you said you love Colombia, but let's talk about business.
Yeah.
What is your vision? What is going on in Latin America?
So I really believe that not just in our company, but I believe in business in general, Latin America is set up for a huge explosion. So, but particularly in our company, I think it's going to be the biggest growth and biggest momentum for sure. One of the number one reasons why is, particularly network marketing, the two biggest markets are Latin America and Asia. But in the Asia markets, South Korea, they speak Korean. In Vietnam, another very big market, they speak Vietnamese. In Japan, they speak Japanese. And, and then in China, there's multiple languages, but Mandarin and different languages, right? It's difficult to build when you don't speak the language. It's more difficult for me to build because I don't speak Spanish yet. But South Korea, to build in Vietnam, they don't speak the language. But in Latin America, there's dozens of countries and almost 600 million people who speak Spanish. So you can build from Colombia to Mexico to Peru to Argentina. I know Brazil is Portuguese, but you can move from country to country in Latin America into Puerto Rico, over to Spain. You can move into the Dominican Republic and Cuba very easily. So where no other group of people in the world can do that, not even in Europe, because the Germans don't speak French, and the French don't learn any other language. But in Latin America, there's a commonality. And a good example of that is you look at the most viewed songs in the world. They're Latin songs. Despacito, right? So is billions of views. And it was funny because in the United States, people were like, how is this Latin artist and these Latin artists getting billions of views? They're not even top charting artists in the States. They're not the mega artists, the Justin Timberlakes, the Justin Biebers. And the reason why is there are more Latinos listening, paying attention, and watching. So I'm so excited for this market. And also just the heart of the people. Latinos, in my experience, some of the hardest working people I know. They love to have fun. But most of them are working not to become important. They're working to take care of their families. And I think that's why, over time, people that just work for themselves, you might get far, but eventually you'll be miserable, and not a lot of people will join you. But the success that I think will happen in this market, as more and more people are pulled out of poverty, and going from third world, second world, first world countries in different parts. Boom.
Wow. Bueno, nos encantaría conocer cómo es que tú has sido testimonio de este sistema de educación probado por los últimos 25 años y qué le recomiendas a las personas que quieren hacer parte de él para que puedan tener resultados así como tú lo has tenido.
We would like to know how is that you see this training system that we have now that has been proven for the past 25 years and how people can join and make part of it.
Oh my God. It's better now than it's ever been because technology has made it so much better. A good example. You're probably watching me on your phone right now.
Yeah.
You are probably watching me on this thing in your pocket while you're at work, driving down the street, hiding from your kids. When I started 19 years ago, we didn't have any of this technology. There was no way to send a video to somebody. I remember getting CDs of trainings for the first time that we were like, oh my God, we got a new CD to listen to. And now, information, videos, YouTube, you can get trained by the best in the world for free. Which is part of the problem too, because people don't appreciate, they don't put importance on free. But from your pocket, you can send a video, find people online. You can be on a Zoom, send demonstrations. Companies now, all the data tracking is all in their back office. You don't have to inventory. You don't have to keep product. You used to have to actually buy the product and then sell it and have to keep it, right? So this is everything. Right now, the technology, systems, everything that this industry has been building for the last 2 decades with e-commerce, online buying, home business, 2020 changed the world. People realize that I need to have something that's mine and something I can do from home. We are in. If you are not involved in this industry over the next 10 years, I think you're crazy.
¿Podríamos decir que tú eres millonario o multimillonario?
Can we say that you are a millionaire or a multimillionaire?
I'm just Jesse.
Okay.